What's going on, YouTube? So the BMW 4 Series for the 2025 model year is receiving some pretty big upgrades. But what I'm standing next to right now is not just any 4 Series. This is actually the most impressive 4 Series money can buy. It is the M4 CS. So with a whopping 543 horsepower and carbon fiber everywhere, let's go ahead and get into this review because I can't wait to show you what they have to offer. So let's start off this review by discussing the exterior of this M4 CS. Boy, you are going to have a very bold look because the 4 Series is honestly pretty bold in any configuration because you have the big BMW grille up here in the front, but the M4 CS is really just going to spice things up by making all of this black, and you also have the red accent around the outside edges. Additionally, we're going to have carbon fiber pretty much everywhere. So one of the elements that you'll notice that is up here on the hood, you'll see the exposed carbon fiber next to the beautiful frozen Isle of Man green paint color that we have on this model. It's a $4,500 option. Now down here at the lower fascia, all of this is going to be finished in a carbon fiber for the lower diffuser. It looks really fantastic. And then as far as the headlights are concerned, we're going to of course have standard full LED headlights, low and high beam. You also have the really cool yellow color daytime running lights. That's going to indicate that you have the CS to pay homage to previous BMW race cars. And now let's discuss the wheels. This is a beautiful spec model because we have some beautiful wheels on board as well. As you'll notice, that we have the gold finish that is available here on the CS model, and they're actually going to be staggered wheels. So you have 19 inches up here in the front, 20 inches in the back, and these are going to be riding on Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires, which of course is going to help us put that power down when we go out on a spin. Now, as far as the brakes, we have the optional carbon ceramic brakes. That's about an $8,500 option. As we head up to this area, we have M4 branding. Our mirrors are going to be finished in a full carbon fiber. We have that signature M design as well. Standard heating, blind spot monitoring, and power folding. Now at the side of the M4, you'll actually notice that this is a pretty long coupe. It's about 188 inches long, which is quite big for a 2-door. We also do have a full carbon fiber roof as tested today. Now, let's go ahead and head around to the rear design because we have a beautiful overall look back here as well. And this is where we're going to see some of the biggest changes for the 2025 refresh. So we have a spoiler up top, and then our taillights are going to be completely new this year. This is BMW's laser light tail lights. They have a really intricate design to them, and they are of course going to be full LED as you would expect. Now, dropping down to the lower fascia, once again finished in carbon fiber, and because we have the M4 CS, of course, we're going to have quad exhaust outlets pumping out phenomenal exhaust sound. So let's go ahead and take a listen. Now, safety is probably not your main priority if you're choosing an M4 CS, but BMW does offer all of those safety systems as an available option if you want them. But let's go ahead and dive into the inside of the cabin because it is lovely. And then we're going to take it out on a spin. But first, if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars. Now let's quickly dive inside the cabin before we take it out for a spin, but let's look at our key fob. We have a traditional BMW design on board. It's a pretty nice key fob. It's not their latest design though. And to unlock the vehicle, you just grab behind the handle, and that will go ahead and open up the door. Now take a look inside the cabin for this 25 M4 CS. You're of course going to find a beautiful design on board, and there's a lot of really cool elements for the M4 CS. One of those coolest elements have got to be these seats. I think that's probably the best part about the interior is the overall seat design. I mean, this thing is absolutely gorgeous. As you'll notice, there also is a lot of just airflow going through here. That's going to allow you to use this on the track and also help save weight. Now, as far as the seat adjustment, it surprisingly is still a power adjusting seat, and you'll also notice exposed carbon fiber here on the seat itself. Now, they are also going to have memory seats over there on the door trim, so let's go ahead and dive inside. Now these seats may look lovely and they're covered in extended merino leather, but I will say they are definitely hard to get in and out of, and you may have to watch this middle piece here. Just shout out to all my guys out there, save you the effort if you get in really quickly. Now, let's go ahead and dive into interior materials. So over here on the door trim, we're going to have a full leather covering through this section and through the middle. We have leather all on the top portion as well. And we also have a full leather covered dashboard. Really, this M4 CS has the nicest cabin that you can get in any 4 Series. We have carbon fiber all through the center section, and we're also going to have leather all in the lower areas as well. More carbon fiber through the center and special CS branding. Now, in order to start it up, you just press the red engine start-stop button right here. Certainly a very theatric startup for this M4 CS, but let's go ahead and dive into some of the individual details that you're going to find inside of this cabin. So looking at our gauge cluster, we are going to have the standard 12.3-inch cluster that you've come to expect out of a lot of BMW screens, and it does have some special M displays on it. As you can see, we have the engine temperature there prominently on the side, as well as some M graphics. We're additionally going to have a head-up display. As we come back to the steering wheel itself, we're going to have an Alcantara wrapped steering wheel to really help you grip it best when you're out on the road or on the track. It's going to have a leather covered airbag cover, and we also have carbon fiber pretty much through every bit of it. We're also going to have specific M buttons for our different customizable drive modes, and we have carbon fiber covered paddle shifters as well as rain sensing wipers. The wheel itself is going to be manual tilt and telescoping. Now, as far as storage is concerned, they have kind of changed this around, so we don't have much of a center console here. It just this little storage cubby right here might fit a couple donuts. We have a USB port inside, and up in the very front portion, we have a wireless phone charging pad. I do want to point out that the cup holders have been removed from this center section, so the only cup holders that you're going to have are over here in the door trim, which really isn't too bad. We actually own a BMW 3 Series, and these are quite large door cup holders. Now, let's take a look at our shifter. This is a special M shifter, really different than what you're going to get on any other of the modern BMW products. So in order to go into drive, you just go to the right. That's going to put you in drive. Once more, we'll put you in the sport mode where you can do your manual shifting. If you want to go into reverse, it's up and to the left. When in reverse, you're going to see a standard backup camera. You cannot get a 360 camera on the M4 CS, but you do have parking sensors on the side. Now, in order to put it into park, you just press the P right there. You do also have several different drive modes that you can select through here. This is to turn on and off your active exhaust. Now, as we move up the dashboard, this is where you're going to see some changes for 2025 in terms of the overall design. This is a new vent detail going on through this section, and like some of the latest BMW products, you adjust your fan with this little toggle right there. So it's kind of just like what we find on the BMW X5. As far as actual temperature adjustment, that's going to be done up here in the screen with these controls right here. Additional climate functions are found in this menu right here. It's going to be a dual zone automatic setup. Off to the left side of that, you do have your button for your heated seats. Do be aware that ventilation is not available. And you might also notice that the screen itself does have some different software this year. That's because we are running a new BMW iDrive 8.5 for the 2025 model year. That's going to give you features like this button to turn on your heated seats, and it just makes the overall system perform a little bit better. You will, of course, still have wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and the screen itself is 14.9 inches. Now, as we head up, we have our auto-dimming mirror with HomeLink remotes built in, and on this model, since we do have the carbon roof, we do not have a sunroof, so keep that in mind. I do want to point out that the carbon roof is actually standard on all M4s for the 2025 model year. One of the great things about the M4 is that it does actually have rear seats as well, and they're not as bad as you might expect. So I'm going to go ahead and get back here. It is going to be a little tricky, but not too bad. And then The seat's going to go ahead and slide back to my own 5'9" driving position, and look at how much space I have. It's going to be about 34 inches of leg room and 35 inches of headroom. So someone who is moderately sized like myself, who's 5'9", you're going to have plenty of room back here for 2 people. Now, as far as features are concerned, there's not really a lot of features going on, but we do have really leather on every aspect of the panel here, which is quite nice, and I love the view of the full carbon fiber seat. And continuing on with that pretty decent practicality, you're going to find 15.5 cubic feet of cargo capacity here in the M4. For those of you that actually watch the channel and already know this, we have a long-term BMW 3 Series, and this has more cargo space than our BMW 3 Series sedan, which is your fun fact for the day. So it's more practical than you'd expect. You can also fold the seats down 40-20-40 split folding. Guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the test drive. I know that's the part that you're probably waiting on. Well, guys, here we are behind the wheel of the BMW M4 CS. This is, of course, a very special test drive. I cannot wait to show you what this car is like behind the wheel. So let's go ahead and dive into that. In this test drive, we'll also be discussing things like our sound level reading, but we need to first start with a hard acceleration.
Woo! There we go.
That was past 60 miles an hour.
Maybe a little bit.
Wow. So, as expected, acceleration in the M4 CS is nearly brutal, dare I say. It is incredibly, incredibly quick. And so what's under the hood of this? Well, we have BMW's 3-liter turbo inline 6-cylinder. This is the S58, and we are going to be making lots of power here on the CS. This is the top-end M4 that you can get. So how much power does it make? Well, 543 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque. Just incredible numbers out of this engine, and oh my goodness, out on the road, it feels every bit as fast as those power numbers would suggest. Actually, I think it feels faster because this vehicle, when you start driving it, just feels so light on its toes. Based on the exterior dimensions, you might not think that this feels like such a small vehicle when you drive it, but it actually feels incredibly small. It feels more like the M2, and I'm not going to get into the steering just yet, but boy, am I enjoying that yet. So I used the paddles there to show you your 8-speed automatic transmission that we have on board. This is a fantastic mate to this overall engine combination. It does a great job of shifting to give you the power when you need it, but it also is a really smooth transmission as well when you're just cruising along. So it has pretty much like dual clutch transmission performance, but it has automatic transmission smoothness, which I absolutely love.
Now you're also going to have standard X-Drive all-wheel drive for this M4 CS, and it's going to be specifically tuned for this M car to make sure the wheels are delivering just what power you need as you're handling all of the corners, which we're heading into now.
Yeah, and I am incredibly excited to show you what this vehicle is capable of. Of course, it's capable of a lot more than what you're going to see in this video because we are on, just public roads. But this M4 CS is really just an absolute riot out on a back road. I'm not gonna make the claim because we review cars for a living, so I'm probably forgetting about something, but this may be the best steering that I've ever felt. It is incredibly fast responding. I mean, any turn off a center, you're getting immediate feedback, and you have endless grip.
Yep.
Zero body roll. It truly is one of the best cars that I've ever had the privilege of driving, and that is not an understatement at all. Not to mention, when you use the paddles, you can get that amazing inline six sound without even having to drive all that fast.
Now, another fun thing about this transmission that will help you when you are doing some enthusiast driving is this little button next to the park button here. You can change the shift intensity, so if you're going down a back road like this, you're going to get the most crisp shifts that you can as possible.
Yeah, I can confirm that does indeed work. And it's cool that BMW does give you the ability to change that on demand. Oh my goodness.
When you give it in that most aggressive shifting too, you can hear the burbles when you shift it up.
Oh my goodness. What a riot. I love this thing. You know, the price is a lot. I will talk about the pricing, you know, after this test drive, but I honestly have to say this feels like it's worth every penny. If you can afford this M4 CS, BMW has really just delivered an amazing driving package, and also one that really doesn't, you know, sacrifice too much on the everyday livability aspects. And that's going to be today's slam dunk. BMW really just has delivered an amazing package here with this M4 CS. You really have to experience it yourself to really understand the full magnitude of what they've done here, but it's quite impressive.
Yeah, and on the airboss side of things, we really had a nitpick here. No airballs from behind the wheel here at all, but the looks can still be a little bit controversial when it comes to other M products you can choose from, but I think it's safe to say it's grown on both of us as time has gone on.
And I think especially when you're looking at a vehicle like this, you kind of want it to stand out, and this M4 definitely will stand out, and you're going to get a lot of attention.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure you didn't expect this, but as far as fuel economy goes for this M4, it's not going to be that great. You're going to be sitting at about 18 mpg combined for this S58, but listen to it. It's so worth it.
Absolutely worth it. And I don't believe you get a gas guzzler tax with this. That's something that the BMW M5 cannot say. And the last thing I do want to talk about is overall ride quality. We've put it back into comfort mode, which is not the mode that I prefer to drive in, but for the video purposes, we put it back in comfort mode, and I think that really demonstrates just how well this vehicle can have a dual character. It's, of course, not going to be like a 7 Series when it comes to ride quality. You're going to feel some road imperfections, but it really takes out all the harshness that would make it hard to live with on the daily, and the seats themselves are quite comfortable as well. They really hug you in nicely. The only thing I can complain about is this middle section here. It does make getting in and out a little bit difficult and a little bit dangerous at times too. So, but other than that, I think this is a very everyday practical option.
Yeah, I spent some time in this off camera in the driver's seat yesterday, and I've spent a lot of time in the seat now, and I never grew weary of the shape of the seat. In fact, with all of the holes in the back of the seat, it's actually very comfortable, lets a lot of airflow through, and so for a ultra high performance coupe, no complaints at all when it comes to the ride quality.
Lastly, for your warranty, you have a 4-year, 50,000 mile basic and powertrain warranty. You do get 3 years of complimentary maintenance as well. Now, as far as pricing is concerned, the M4 CS is going to be the most expensive 4 Series you can get. We start at $123,500. Now, we have the optional paint color, we have the optional ceramic brakes, plus $1,175 destination. We are sitting at $137,675. Now, if you're looking to buy a BMW M4 CS or any new vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now, the reason you do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description, and we also have a pinned comment at the top of this video. But buying a car is about more than the original MSRP, so let's dive into resale and reliability. First up, let's talk about resale value. As an economics graduate myself, we took the time to develop what we think is a good estimate for BMW's potential resale value. We estimate that after 5 years and 60,000 miles, it'll be worth 41.19%, and after 10 years and 120,000 miles, 15.3%. Now, it's worth noting that is below industry average for all vehicle makes. However, it is very much similar to other German luxury manufacturers such as Audi, Mercedes-Benz.
Now, we've also done the same for reliability by creating the Combined Reliability Index, which takes into account a lot of data taken from trusted automotive resources. According to this metric, BMW is on par with the industry average.
It's worth noting that's also better than the other German luxury brands. Now, if you'd like to learn more about our resale and reliability data, be sure to go to carconfections.com/resale and carconfections.com/reliability. Buying a new vehicle is a big decision, so you want to make sure you're making a smart purchase, especially if you're cross-shopping between different vehicle brands. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed watching this in-depth review of the refreshed 2025 BMW M4 CS. Of course, this was a very fun video, and if you enjoyed watching or found it helpful in your purchasing decisions, we would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. By subscribing, you're going to get the latest car reviews, and you're also going to be a part of our Car Confections family. Also, by subscribing, you help us to get invited to events like this so we can show you special vehicles such as this M4 CS. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.